Have you ever thought about starting your own online business, in your 50s? Like you worked for, maybe 20, 25 years, and now you're looking to start a business online. Today, that's what I'm going to try to go over of how I would start. If I was starting today, like let's say today it was my birthday, I hit age 50 and I'm ready to start. This is where I would start over again. Just to go back a little bit, when I first started in this online space, it was around 2006, and I remember that my wife was 7 months pregnant. I was just overwhelmed. We had a mortgage, we had car payments, we had all the, I thought I was living the life. Like, okay, I did everything I needed to do, have the house, have a wife, have kids, have 2 cars, a mortgage to pay, and then boom, I was laid off. I was like, oh my God, what am I gonna do? Where am I gonna go? And like most of you, if you're probably watching this right now, you're probably in that same boat and saying, hey, I want to try something new. So in 2006, right away, most of us, what we do is we'll go online, we'll do a search, and we'll try to find out what to do. And I went online and I said, okay, hey, you can make money online. You can make money on the internet. So for me, I'm not like my wife loves to plan out things. She'll plan it out and put everything structured. I'm a person that just jumps in, I'll feed in, and then I'll learn as my on the way. Let me tell you something, that don't do that. That's not the best way. Plan out your if you're going to start online, plan it out in advance so that you don't run into roadblocks. I've done several things. I did a personal blog, I did drop shipping, affiliate marketing, I did an ebook. A lot of stuff I just jump in, and I should have just planned before I get started. And if I could do it again, I would do the steps that I'm going to talk to you about today. What you should do first before getting started, and how you should look at making money online. The first thing I would recommend, get a piece of paper, write down what are you trying to solve? What are you solving? What problem are you solving? So let's say, for instance, if I was into fitness, I'm trying to lose a few pounds. That's the problem you're trying to resolve. Or let's say make money online. How would I go about doing that? What avenues? What's the best way to make money online? Or I want to spend more time with my family. I think a lot of us in our midlife and in our 50s and 60s, even 40s, you want to spend more time with your family. And is that the problem you're trying to solve? These are questions you have to ask yourself. What am I solving? What problem am I solving? I would recommend writing it down on a piece of paper and just seeing what problem you want to solve. And it's better to write it out instead of putting on computer. It's not the same. Just write it out. Maybe what problems you're solving, and then narrow it down. I think that would be the best way to do it. Like for myself, tip number 2, who are you solving the problem for? A lot of times we go out there and we're like, okay, I want to solve these problems. I want to solve the problems for everyone in the world. And when you probably heard this many times, if you talk to everyone, you try to talk to everyone, you end up talking to no one. And that goes down, it really comes down to narrowing down your niche of who you want to talk to. Who do you want to talk to? Who do you want to gear your message to? So for instance, when I first started in the online space, one of the things that just to let you know, I am diabetic, type 2, but obviously I was struggling with, I struggled with that when I was younger, but I got it under the control. But I decided, hey, I'm gonna create a blog about diabetes and how to stay fit and whatever. And because the topic was so huge, and this is my first business, this is what I mean when I jumped in and I didn't think about it. And I said, yeah, I'm gonna solve the problem, speak to everyone. It's a big problem. I could relate, and I hope people could relate. And I realized it was just too big. It was too broad. It was like, you have all these bigger companies that are catering to that niche. And that was one of the things that it wasn't a failure. I learned a lot, which is good. But now I understand that you gotta narrow it down. Like, some of the things, another thing I did was a keto book online, how to eat properly, because I'm diabetic. I said, hey, I heard, eating a keto diet helps with your diabetes. Once again, I went broad. I didn't know who I was serving. Another thing is, now I'm doing something, now I narrow down my search to helping people like you, if you're in that age group, in your 40s, 50s, or 60s, help people, transition from midlife, transition their career from midlife to the online space. So that's why it's always good to narrow down your search as much as possible. So that's one thing I would recommend, just narrow down your search. I did it a lot, so that's one thing. And that's why right now, this is what I'm focusing on. And if you are looking if you're looking for a way, like a step-by-step blueprint of how to get started in the online space, and I want to show you how to get, the most easiest way, the straightforward, just a step-by-step, type the word blueprint in the comments, and I'll send you some more information on how to get started with your own online business. Let's go back. The next one is who you're solving for. Who's your target audience? That's number 3. Who you want to speak to. You got to really, I'm going to be honest, try to narrow it down, because if you talk to everyone, like I recommend it, I said before, like if you want to do exercise or diets or whatever, it's too broad. You got to bring it down. So some of the targets that you should bring it down to, target age, who's the age group. Here's a little tip. Okay, target yourself. So that's a point that I would give. Target yourself. So target yourself 5 years ago before starting today. Like if you're going to start a business today, target yourself 5 years. You're at work and you're like, okay, I can't do this anymore. Target yourself. Like if you could go back in the future 5 years ago, what would you tell yourself? Hey, you can make money online, just do this and this. So you're targeting yourself. So go back 5, maybe 10 years ago, and then figure out what you would like to hear back then. So I would recommend targeting yourself 5 to 10 years before your age now, and 5 to 10 years after. So like a 10-year gap between on either side. Target that age group, because when people come online, they're going to resonate with you because you're in that same age range. What educational level, is the person in college and university? Did they complete high school? Education, you could target education. Gender, I mean, if, women, if they're talking about menopause or child, raising children, then they will target female. Men, if we're talking about, how to engage emotionally, hey, you might want, as men, you select your gender, what you're interested in. Like for me, I'm interested in golf. Hey, I might talk about golf. Those are the targets that you got to really start thinking. Like what's their marital status? Are they single, or are they married, or they're in common law marriage, whatever. I mean, you just got to really narrow it down. Once you get that group, then you could speak their language. So like, let's say, for instance, if you're a stay-at-home mom, you can talk more about being a stay-at-home mom, because that's the person who's on the other side of your business is going to resonate with you. So that's another one thing that you could do. The next level, I think 1, 2, 3, 4. Number 4, how to reach them. Okay, now you have that target audience. How you're going to communicate with them? So there's a lot of ways you could communicate with them. You could create a website, a blog if you're really good at writing, or social media, like let's say YouTube or TikTok or Facebook. Where's your audience? And here's a little tip, and I'm going to kind of give you a little trick. One of the things that you can go into Facebook or any groups like Reddit, whatever, and find the groups. So just type a search for like stay-at-home moms, and then you're going to find your audience there. That's your audience. So join those groups. Find out how those are the platforms you want to be. If you notice a large group, some of these groups got tens of thousands of people in one group that you're interested in. Like, let's say if I'm interested in golf, or men in my 50s, and I type up men in my 50s and I see the group, I would join. I say, hey, Facebook might be the platform I want to communicate because I want to reach them. Or YouTube, if people like YouTube is it's like a search engine. So like people are looking for a solution. So maybe YouTube is more of your speed. So how you're going to reach out to your audience, that's another thing. Number two, the next one is your name. Give yourself a name. What name would you call yourself? A lot of people, I wouldn't recommend just kind of getting, going on a website and doing a name generator and then putting the name together. You can, and I'm not saying you can't, but a lot of creators or a lot of people on social media, they use their name. If you really think about it, a lot of the biggest brands out there, like let's say McDonald's is a last name, Versace is a last name, or Ford is a name. So a lot of the times people just like to use their name because that's a brand, that's a unique to you. That's another thing that you can do, is just use your name. It's one of the best ways to brand yourself. The other thing is, the next thing that you want to do is, what equipment are you going to use? First, when I first started in the online space, this is like in 2006. I'm getting up there, so that's why you see a little bit grays. But anyways, in 2006, I wanted to get one of those fancy digital cameras because I wanted to create content on social media, and I needed this camera. And I can't remember, it was $1,000, and I was like, okay, I'm ready. But nowadays, right now I'm recording on my phone, as you can see, and the quality is very good. You have if you're watching this on your phone or even your computer, you have the means to create content. You have your phone, you have internet, if you have data on your phone, go ahead and create content. Those are the things that you need. Like, all you need is the equipment that you need is your cell phone and an internet connection, and that's it. So, and just start recording, start doing your business online. It's that easy. As your business grows, then you can upgrade, you can get a microphone, a camera. Those are the things that you can do. And then the last thing I would recommend, build a brand, build your personal brand. Don't just go offer the features. Don't say it does this and this. For instance, one of my mentors, he had used this way, how to break down how to build a brand, to building a brand compared to building a personal brand, right? She says, those laundry detergents commercials you see, the mom's drinking coffee and she's wearing a white shirt, and the kids come in, the daughter comes in, she's eating ice cream, and the kid wants to play. The boy comes in and he has a soccer ball, his clothes is nice and clean, and the husband, he's ready to work, and he's going to go off to work, and it just kind of shows that life is easy because they have this laundry detergent that cleans everything, makes everything happy and clean. Pretty much, I think it was Tide, and everybody's happy. But at that moment, you don't think about Tide is not promoting what's the chemicals inside the detergent that makes the clothes clean. They don't talk about that. They don't talk about it has this type of soap and this type of chemical. They don't talk about that. They talk about what's the outcome. And that's why you should build a brand towards the outcome. Anyways, I hope that gives you some tips. And if you found any of this, if you enjoy this content, please like, subscribe, and hit the bell notification so you get some new the topics that I will be talking. I'll be adding more tips, and I hope to talk to you soon. Okay, bye for now.